flight so far?
This flight is fantastic. It is truly historical and hysterical. It's a pink flight, it's the gays, it's the drag queens, and my favorite is it's a couple straight people that just aren't supposed to be here, and they're kind of my favorite ones to watch. I think there's at least 4 people that are just flying to Sydney and didn't even know it was the pink flight.
Yeah, I think there's a few of them like that, but they appreciate you as well.
Well, they're all being very kind.
But you can kind of cross over a lot of different demographics. I mean, you talked about performing with the troops in Iraq and Afghanistan and finding your gays there.
Yes.
How does that come about usually?
Well, usually, let's see, when I was overseas in Afghanistan or Iraq, I would, it's a little harder to find the gay in the military, it's the don't ask, don't tell thing. And yet, every so often, some guy would just pull me aside, and I would just know by a question such as, have you ever met Liza Minnelli? That, to me, is a red flag. That's a tip-off. That's how I know I'm among my people. And it's funny because this pink flight is not dissimilar to visiting the troops, because I'm just sort of going person to person, asking how they're doing. It's as if the war in Iraq is all led to this flight. Just me having one-on-one contact with good, solid Americans.
Now, how does a gay audience, how does your act differ when you're performing primarily for a gay audience, or does it differ?
Well, my act isn't that much different when I perform for a primarily gay audience, because my act is pretty fucking gay to begin with. Yeah. So it's more like, how does my act change if I know that there aren't gay people in the audience, which is just me panicking. But, I talk about all the fun stuff that we're all talking about, the water cooler, the Britney, the Oprah, the, whatever scandal who's ever in rehab this week, the important issues. Oh, and the election, stuff like that.
But there's several performers that have big gay followings, but you do more than just embrace your gay following. You always mention it as part of your act, etc. Was there ever any hesitation to do that out of fear of turning off the mainstream audience? I never had any kind of fear about alienating heterosexuals in the show or anything, because I never really worried about it, only because I only know how to do one kind of comedy. So I only can do what I think is funny, and whoever else finds it funny, that's just who comes to the show, And so I probably started working for gay audiences when I would do open mic nights, and when you do an open mic night, sometimes you have to do whatever they want. Sometimes you have to sing a song, you have to do a little stand-up, you have to do a monologue. I would just do any open mic night, and a lot of times gay bars would have them. So I started noticing that my, stand-up would do better at the gay bars than at the regular comedy clubs, and that's really how I started. Now, notice here you're really working here today. You're going out and you're taking tickets. You're on the clock.
Yeah.
Doesn't that get pretty tiring?
Yes. Yes. I've been. I was the ticket taker girl. I was the ticket taker girl. I was the entertainment, and I tried to serve the food. I spilled quite a bit. Also shooting My Life on the D-List season 4. So there's cameras everywhere. There's other cameras, which I think is funny. I thought that our crew would be the only one, but there's like 5 other people with cameras. So I'm used to it. There's a lot of waving. Sometimes I like the cameras, sometimes I don't.
How was that? Just to have cameras following you around everywhere.
It's horrible. It's horrible to have cameras following you everywhere. It's embarrassing and humiliating. But then when I watch the show, like after it's been edited, then I think it's kind of funny. But doing it is a nightmare.
Now, are you going to bring Steve Wozniak in front of the cameras to see part of that?
As a matter of fact, Steve Wozniak, I just spoke to him before the flight, and ironically, he has a speaking engagement in Sydney, so we get to hook up on Saturday in Sydney.
Oh,
so yeah, he definitely is participating in this season of My Life on the D-List.
Are you concerned at all, because of your growing popularity, that you'll grow beyond the D-List?
No, I know that I won't grow beyond the D-List, because someone just asked me on this flight what it was like being on Just Shoot Me. No, News Radio, which I wasn't on. So if that even happens on this flight, where they put my name on the card and everything, then I'm still on the D-List.
But you seem to have, at the same time, an admiration for the celebrities. At the same time, you're kind of making fun of them.
Definitely.
You do the best Celine Dion impression I've ever heard.
Celine Dion, yeah, I do. I'm a fan.
But at the same time, I know you've seen the show a lot, and you're a big fan.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is I'm not really out to talk about somebody just being ugly or something. I usually make fun of people's behavior. And I'm a fan of many of the people that I make fun of, because I think you can love someone and think they're full of shit. I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive.
We talked a few minutes ago about The View, because I was a big fan of The View. Are you ever coming back to The View, or is that pretty much over?
I don't know if I'm going to go back to The View. Apparently I've ticked Barbara off. Hopefully not for the last time. But, she's moody. She's moody, and we all knew that going in. But I still enjoy the show, and I like those girls, and I watch it all the time.
But you two have such chemistry, you and Barbara, because you balance each other off. You kind of bounce each other off.
Well, Barbara did turn to me and say one time, they say we're very good together. So she knows. It was really the executive producer, Geddy, Geddie,
it was really, he was the one who called my publicist. So I have to tell as many people as possible. That's my job.
Was it just one joke, or was it?
It was a joke in my Last Bravo special.
What was that joke?
Well, I'm not going to read the joke for you. You got to rent it.
All right. I'll rent it.
All right.
But,
okay.
Anyway, great show. Thanks.
I'm back on the clock. Back to work. Thank you.